You're back for more of Westworld here on BuzzChomp, and I'm reacting to episode 5. I'm Dan Salem, and with only a couple to go, we are now deep into Serac's future.
I'm Mandi.
I'm Dan.
Subscribe to
BuzzChomp. Woo! This whole season of Westworld pretty much flipped the show's dynamic on its head, which is awesome. It showed us all of this futuristic Los Angeles and the futuristic world, and then it showed us the giant AI brain and Serac, its creator. This episode we learned how Serac and his brother came to invent God and the partner and Liam's dad, and how Liam came to inherit part of the company. This was all Dolores deep diving into the AI brain's memory of its creator Serac, because nothing about Serac exists anywhere outside of the brain itself. I'm going to keep calling it the AI brain so I don't mispronounce its real name. And basically we're on Dolores' journey still, but we're in Serac's future. Now, I'm not quite sure if what we've watched all along is reality or an iteration of the future inside the brain. And while this particular episode, most recent, number 5, made it very clear that much of what we're watching is in fact reality because of the references, and it kind of removes some of the doubt it seeded episode before, which is what Westworld does great. That doesn't mean that some of what we've watched is not the simulation. Serac is attempting to stop Dolores, attempting to catch her, attempting to intervene, makes himself show up as a hologram to talk to her, and she basically gives him the middle finger and steps straight through him, saying, "I'm winning." And he's like, "Oh, I'm dumbfounded." This man is a genius. If we are to believe he created God and has guided the human race towards a better future by molding the lives of every single person in existence, is he really being bested by a single host created by a human in which Serac was already controlling? No. Serac's future involves the control of none other than Bernard and Westworld and the creation of Dolores herself. He has predetermined the lives of every human to create humanity's future in a positive light, and so that we don't kill ourselves. That includes the individuals who invented Westworld at Delos and created Dolores. Dolores would not exist if not for Serac's future. This means he knew this would happen. He keeps toying with the fact that there are white spaces, there are anomalies. I mentioned chaos theory. It's all the same thing. Basically, what he was saying this episode to remind us is he can't control everything. He can control 98, 99%. But there's always the element of choice. There's always the random affliction of happenstance. Dolores' creation and Westworld's creation was not happenstance. All right, he could have easily stopped it if he saw it leading to self-destruction. Instead, he obviously saw it as a means for future data for himself and a way for humanity to evolve beyond its mortal form. I don't take him for a man to have unnecessary risk. He would have already determined whether Westworld was going to destroy humanity and the hosts were going to revolt and destroy humanity. And if he already played that out and determined it was okay to let them exist, then he must know that there is a future in which this doesn't go wrong. And I gotta believe he did everything to create that future already. So now that we're witnessing the revolt and witnessing Dolores wake up humanity, all of these things cannot be anomalies that break his mold. There's too many of them. It's a domino effect. And all you gotta do is pluck one domino and then they don't fall over. If he let the first couple dominoes fall because he thought it would be okay, he's not surprised that they continue to fall over. This is what's frustrating to me about the story arc of this season thus far. Beyond the fact that I don't believe for a second Maeve has powers in the real world, and we didn't see her this episode yet, there was a reference to the Yakuza not going right. I'm not sure where Maeve is, and I'm not sure what the whole point of her is, except that we love her character, so we're keeping her in the show. Serac's future was predetermined to be what he wanted it to be, and what he thought humanity's best interests were. Now, this is extremely egotistical. It makes him off to be God or a dictator of all humanity without them knowing it. And of course it's bad for him to control everyone's lives. You're removing the element of free will by shaping society around people so that they can only be what you think is best for them and not letting them choose it for themselves. He spent his entire life's work ensuring humanity's best survival. There's just no goddamn way that he didn't iterate 100,000 times to figure out what he could do about these hosts before they even escaped Westworld. He already said that he did the same thing about killing Liam's father and locking his brother up. Every anomaly that they come across, all the people that live outside the bounds, they lock them up. Well, what about Ford and Bernard? Did they get locked up? Did he murder Bernard, but then figure Ford was okay? Or did Ford escape and hide himself in Westworld? And then, this is a question that they're going to have to address. You've created such a smart, powerful, intelligent, godlike man, and then made him vulnerable to the simplest of change. Perhaps he didn't consider the fact that she would create multiple copies of herself so that they could all think the same and act as one, which, not buying it. So now he has an enemy which can exist in multiple places at once, much like himself. He has an enemy who can create things and control things all over the world, much like himself, and yet he's not able to anticipate her next move. No, of course he can. He has the giant AI brain to do that. She does not live outside the bounds of the AI brain. While the AI brain only considers human actions, and she is not a human, I get that. The brain controls humanity at large. It takes into account the flow of electronics, and she is herself an electronic. It can't consider only humans. It's dealing with the Earth. We're going to do everything we can for society to survive, but we're not taking into account the fact that maybe an earthquake happens or a volcano goes off. Screw that. We'll just leave that up to chance while we've tried to remove all chance in every other aspect of everything ever. No, I'm going to give him a little bit more credit than that. So this episode, we see Serac running around with his tail between his legs as we learn about his history and how he's not a good guy. Of course he's not a good guy. Nobody that wants to control all humans and decide our futures for us is good. He may think he has our best interests at heart, but he has no idea until we get there. You don't know what's best for someone 50 years from now in the present. You gotta let them get there on their own. People change, people evolve, people grow, and they learn from their mistakes. If you are not going to let them do that, then you're not letting evolution happen. And he basically is locking up all the anomaly humans because he thinks that they're outside the bounds of what should be a human. That's based on the past, not the future. You don't know what should be a human in the future. You only know what should have been a human before. It's just a dead end. There's not really an end in sight here, and there are not going to be any winners. I don't think there's any sort of a happy ending here on Westworld, and we kind of knew this for all along. Bernard is the key once again, and Maeve is lost once again, and Dolores is on a rampage once again. I like that these characters have stuck to their arcs. They are hosts and not humans, so perhaps they are not quite as layered. But what about Teddy? What about some of our other hosts? What about Ford? These people still exist in the minds and memories of our hosts. And if Serac's using the AI brain to dive down possible futures and review possible pasts, shouldn't our hosts also be doing the same thing as they access their memories? Maeve is all-powerful. She can do these things. She could, technically, if she actually has the ability to control electronics in the real world, she could control the giant AI brain right now if she just knew it existed. I don't think that she's quite that godlike herself. But maybe she's the Eve to the Adam brain. We'll find out. I'm Dan Salem. Subscribe to the BuzzChomp YouTube channel for more of Westworld throughout the rest of the season and other great sci-fi TV shows all year long. And comment below, do you think Serac's future is coming to fruition? Are we really watching reality? There's definitely multiple things at play here. It's just truly unclear what is what. Woo!
Thanks for watching BuzzChomp.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.